Well, it's a beautiful time to be here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, fresh off of an e-ticket event. And our night in America is back, and this time with the Gen 4 stock cars. We get ready to rock and roll. What a beautiful event we did just have at Daytona Beach, that for the Florida 500. Now we're back and we're racing, having a lot of fun with all things ready to go. And our night in America, feeling victories all year long. Multiple drivers that were just in the last event are here. Multiple drivers that will be in the next event are here. 2007 overlays are on, and we're ready to rock and roll. Gavin Austin, you already see him working top side of the racetrack, with everyone else just trying to get dialed on in. Jackson Carr, he's on the scene. Andres Vargas, Lane Sanders, you saw them amongst the multiple drivers getting ready to roll around this just over a mile and a half length of a racetrack. 3 races guaranteed tonight, 200 likes. We will get around number 4, and we're back this Friday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Gen 4 Old Atlanta, gonna be fun. Car tomorrow, Talladega. That's race number 2. And then we go NASCAR Xfinity Series Racing out there at Michigan. And we're really excited to see how it all goes down. So glad to have you all with us. Just a slight delay to our stream as we were trying to get things rocking and rolling, making sure they're on the right side. A couple updates, delayed it by maybe about 30 seconds on the live side. Everything else was just on time. Less than 3 minutes remaining. A single car qualifying, and we're going to be racing at Atlanta for 80 laps strong. Speaking of strong, we're bumping. Currently, over 43 drivers have entered, which means only 43 will race. Others will be heading to Talladega early. The next e-ticket event, March 7th, that is for the World Grand Prix. You're going to want to be there. 218 down the Mulsanne Straight. We just announced that there's no entry fees for that event, and already multiple drivers have signed on up thinking that they have an opportunity to make good out of what's coming about. Still others on the racing surface. Joseph Armstrong just came actually back from Daytona. He worked in the Midway just about, I want to say, from Thursday or Wednesday up to the Sunday evening hours. Sean Rowe, he's here as well, was supposed to make the Florida 500. Unfortunately, was not able to join the duels. Caden Perkins is in. Damian Vega looking to set quick time. Jerry Rodriguez is back. Keith Ingram, Jackson Carr. And yes, I was away from the sim for a little while, but you got to think about it. Still calling races in person out there at New Smyrna Speedway. It was a lot of fun to work the ASA Stars National Tour Clyde Hart Memorial 200 with all the pre-race festivities. Sold out crowd, standing room only by the time we took the green flag. Tonight, what are we going to see? Well, great racing nonetheless. Older, worn-out surface of Atlanta. This Friday when we come back, we're going to be night racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway. That with the next gen on the new surface, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Take a listen. That is all off throttle time. For Jerry Rodriguez, it was a smack to the outside retaining wall. Riker Byram, he's on the scene as well, sitting on pit road, ever it counts. Speeds, they're high. We love that indeed. All we're going to see is high speeds for the next couple of weeks as we get ready for Le Mans. The World Grand Prix will be the 27th e-ticket event. And oh man, is it going to be exciting. You know you're going to want to be there for that. Drivers lined in, kind of for their final moments as we get ready to go green. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the Daytona 500. I know I very much did. As the final, hey, we're live, goes on out. We get ready to go green flag racing. Welcome to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Less than 20 seconds remaining till we grid them up. Joey Beck is in the field. Riker Byram is in the field. 60 drivers going in for those final moves. Matthew Brown outside looking in. Anthony Burrows outside looking in. Does he make the show? He was 50th. He does. Anthony Burrows, P3, and he's going to be one of the leaders, bringing us to green. Time to do it. And we want to say once again, thank you to everyone that's been hanging out with us at our Night in America, feeling victories all year long. Little hiccup to the show, at least to start. We just missed a shift when it came down to downloading and updating some things. Been away for just over about a week and a half, and we're going to get ready to go green flag racing. Excited to be back. More excited about that e-ticket event that's coming up March 7th. Who's excited to bring next gens to Le Mans? I mean, that's what I am beyond excited about. We're talking next-gen racing at Le Mans. No chicanes down the Mulsanne Straight. If you don't know what the Mulsanne Straight is, it's that long straightaway that's really, in our wording, I guess you could call it a backstretch to the road course. And we're looking at over 40 of NR's best. Going 218 and bracing for that next right-hander after the Mulsanne. It's going to be a lot of fun following Le Mans. We have Darlington for the e-ticket festivities. Then we have Talladega. So many great things to look forward to if you're a fan of sim racing. And we can confirm, I'll be saying this multiple times tonight, NR Night in America, Florida 500, highest viewed two-day show. Highest engaged two-day show as well. And we're very thankful for over 16,000 tuned into the duels, over 23.4 thousand tuned into the Florida 500 alone, and the highest concurrent peak is a 13.45. That's still very much under review from what we heard. There's still that, question mark on the top right, because there is still the rumor that it hit 1,400, but still a 13.45. We're not going to argue that. Still amazing, and very grateful for that indeed. 80 laps of racing, that's what you'll see tonight. Already lights off on top of the safety car. We may do 1 or 2 laps just to go ahead and get everyone back in the Philippines. A lot of drivers went to Daytona for Speed Weeks and the Daytona 500. I was there as well. Joseph Armstrong was in attendance and so many others. 43 drivers will be taking the green flag. Jackson Carr, Jerry Rodriguez, tail end of the longest lines. Let's get ready to go green. There's a really good chance Le Mans may even have 50 drivers. We're looking at 50 taking the green flag as well. 3 hours of racing, non-stop action. We're very much excited. Top of your screen, you see all the drivers. Armstrong, Champagne, they're back. Anthony Burrows joining in as well. Can confirm this is the one to green. So let's go ahead and say those magical words. God speed drivers. You are go for throttle up. More info and news on Le Mans throughout the night. We'll continue to update you all as long as you continue to race it at our Night in America and run up front. Become a household name or try to build your name as a big up-and-comer. You have an opportunity to race. For the first time in over a week, let's light the fuse from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Didn't take long for a lead change. Kevin Champagne, top of the board. Joseph Armstrong getting loose just on the exit of the quad oval. Max Swearinger to the inside of the 9. That's happening right behind Drugman. Dodge on the outside, Dodge on the bottom. Max Swearinger leads lap 1. Kevin Champagne in what I believe is a Bill Elliott throwback with the Lion King on the hood. Without a Max Swearinger in the 9, that's the Casey Kane throwback. He leads off turn number 2. Michael Mitchum on the scene. And you got to be thinking, okay, why is there the same number in this race? Well, for the e-tickets, we have it as there's got to be a different number per driver. But in NR Night in America, think about it as local racing at your short track. You can have 100 street stocks, 100 pro late models, super late models show on up. Different teams sometimes run the same number. So that's why you hear about the 9S and maybe the 9D. Max Swearinger around after getting into Michael Mitchum. And that was just from the race lead. is able to get it refired. We stay green. Single car spin off the racing surface. The fight for the top spot. Van Drugman, Michael Mitchum. Unbelievable. And these speeds, they're high. They're harder to maintain. Drugman, the late race leader. You saw him at about 185. They've already cracked the 195s. But with the tire wear becoming an issue with this old worn-out surface, the lap times will continue to fall off. They're already 2/10 off from the initial lap. Van Drugman, new race leader. Michael Mitchum underneath. Trying to see if he can work that magic. Trouble, spin, 51, middle of the field. Collects Abraham Phelan, the caution will wave. Heavy damage, Christian Delgado. Lane Sanders got a piece of it as well. And that caution will come out for the first time. There's the damage on Max Swearinger, that was earlier. And the wreck came from John Singer in 51. He was slow right in the middle of the field. I don't know why he put his car there. John Singer, newcomer to NR Night in America. I mean, you can see he is way out of the throttle. He's not even close to having any type of speed. Gen 4 stock car, high horsepower, not too much downforce. At this point, you gotta get to the bottom. I mean, maybe he was sitting in the middle and trying to avoid the two drivers coming on. Really couldn't get to the bottom here. Abraham Vila just full head of steam right in the back end of him. Which then entails start a chain reaction. Christian Delgado, Max Steinmeier, Lane Sanders. Riding on board with the Sanders 86. Gassed it up and got clipped just in that left rear. Listen once more. There's heavy net code between the Max Steinmeier 23 and the Sanders 86. Caution is out for the first time at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Pit road is open and they're coming on out. That's Mitchum, Van Drugman, Kevin Champagne, William Schmidt, Joseph Armstrong with Gavin Austin lining up that top six. The speeds are high at Atlanta. Already seeing multiple passes throughout this race just within the opening laps. And quickly we get to go ahead and speak with some drivers and hear what they have to say. Max Steinmeier, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's up? How are we doing? Fun start to this one, right? Good Lord.
Yeah, fun start indeed. Unfortunate. The incident between you and Sanders as well. That was kind of a, I wouldn't say a late reaction, but kind of a misfire from what we saw earlier. Looking at it, it looked to be heavy net code between both your drivers.
Okay, yeah, it looked like it was net code. I didn't think I hit him. It was probably a bad idea to try to go low to miss the dude spinning, but I did miss him. But I had to gas it up to do so. Yeah, I thought I was going to miss lane, but I guess netcode took him out. But we're fine. Fixed all the damage. I'm trying to catch the field now. We'll be all right. Long way to go.
A long way to go indeed. You got a lot of racing left. Back this Friday, you just found out Le Mans is going to be free entry. E-tickets coming up. What are you thinking about? What are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to most of the stuff this year. Le Mans probably is the number one road course that I have like the most experience on. I'm fairly decent at most places. Just I never really ran Le Mans, so it'll be new to me. So I think it'll be fun, especially without the chicanes. We'll be flying.
Going to be a lot of fun. That's Max Steinmeier, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be ready to restart this one of the PBR drivers. Michael Mitchum, Van Drugman, William Schmidt and others will head back to the restart zone. One caution already in the books. They can't make it all the way on fuel. So a pit stop is possible if we get a long green flag run. Toyota versus Dodge, back green from Atlanta. Armstrong underneath Drugman. That's the battle for third. Look at that, 193. Before having to roll out of the throttle down to 163, 162 miles per hour. That was Kevin Champagne. Drugman top shelf. He's going to take it. As Mitchum leads, everyone else single files out. Just in or around 70 laps to go. If you're just joining on in, we say hello and welcome from Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's rush hour on this Tuesday night edition of NR Night in America. Next e-ticket event, March 7th. That's a Friday night, and it will be the World Grand Prix. Multiple lanes in use. Atlanta is planned to have its first e-ticket event actually this year with the 1987 stock car. Retro 500, you may ask. Look later in the year for that to possibly happen. Mitchum the leader by maybe 5-6 car lengths. And just behind them, Kevin Champagne, Joseph Armstrong, William Schmidt. Schmidt just all over the back bumper of the 22. And I got to give it to Gavin Austin. Very smooth on the bottom. Able to rip that white line. He's got Trevor Hoff just right behind him. Hoff the dive to the bottom. And that outside lane's going to work, but you're going to want to use it correctly. You don't want to tear the tires up this early, and that's what makes Atlanta so great. We talked about it in times past. It's not driver versus driver, it's driver versus track. And at some point, when fighting the racetrack, you're going to be toe-to-toe with other drivers, which makes the great racing you're currently seeing on screen. Now, Huff versus Austin. It was tight before, and I don't think they're done. Huff gets moved out of the way. Wilkerson up the middle. That's 3 wide. And the 2 is loose. Hand over fist trying to hold on to it. Burrows, he's there in 9th. He sees the battling going on. This is on the nose now of Huff in 8th. Mitchum ahead by 6/10 over the second place position of Van Drugman, as all the fighting continues to happen from Kevin Champagne and William Schmidt. He's getting squeezed, just took the air off that spoiler. Hoff says thank you very much. He finds his way into the 6th position. Wilkerson, William Schmidt battle the 1 and 2. This is racing in NR Night in America. We had 60 drivers join on in. Once again, if you want to see race 4, that's 200 likes. And you, the viewers, get to go ahead and vote on where we go with that. Talk about the next e-ticket event being March 7th, but the big thing to know, Area is coming to NR Night in America broadcast. That's right, the league area will be broadcasted on Monday nights on this YouTube channel, so do not forget about it. It'll be a lot of fun to see those drivers work their way around and work on what they can do. Big thing to talk about, big thing to note. 60 drivers joined on in. Now, why are they joining to in Atlanta on a Tuesday night? Pretty simple. Everybody wants to be picked for an e-ticket event. Joseph Armstrong's a notable name. Van Drugman, he hasn't had an e-ticket shot. He's up there in 2nd. And let's say Van Drugman goes out there and signs up for the World Grand Prix. He wins this race. He's almost a sure lock into the e-ticket event. That's what NR Night in America has really evolved into as of recent. It's a show me what you got. The hardcore viewers like yourself watching right now get to watch the up-and-comers versus the veterans, while also kind of just keeping an eye peeled for who is possibly a standout star. If he's able to go ahead and make it work, pretty simple. He could be heading to those e-sport events. Trace McDowell, no paint scheme loaded for him. Mitchum the leader. But is he tearing those tires up? Still running the fastest laps of the race. Armstrong and Wilkerson, that's 3rd and 4th. $18 laps into this 80-lap race. Following, we're going to have Talladega. That being with the car tomorrow. maybe a sprint race. I think it's going to be no more than 30 laps, and the Xfinity Series will be rocking and rolling their way at Michigan. Want to thank you to all the new community members as well. Hold on, you joined in through the Florida 500. Those icons will stick with you hopefully well into the World Grand Prix. So the whole month organization, very grateful for that one. Gavin Austin, we saw him battling tough. He's now back there with Kevin Champagne. I wonder if that right rear tire got blistered up, maybe even the left front with the right front as well. Doing everything he can to keep it straight, goes toe-to-toe with Champagne and 9. And this is a very common question we get. Why do the paint schemes on the cars not match the numbers that we see on the top of our screen? Well, that's pretty simple. Most drivers in our Night in America have something called Trading Paints Pro. Now, Trading Paints Pro allows you to run custom number fonts for your race car. It doesn't automatically transfer over to iRacing. iRacing has a separate number than what you see currently on maybe a William Schmidt 79. Most notably, I want to say definitely the Kevin Champagne quote-unquote 33. If the drivers don't change their iRacing number to what matches the Trading Paints Pro number, that's where you see the confusion. Now, come the e-ticket event, there's never that issue for one big reason. Custom number fonts are on the overlays for the e-ticket events. So the number that matches the car automatically matches the overlay, and it's usually the same number font to easily distinguish who is who. Speaking of distinguish, no one finds their way through a pack quicker than that of Joseph Armstrong, including a long green flag run. He's already closing that gap. William Schmidt underneath Trevor Hoff. Just grabbing the quarter panel. Champagne sitting in 7th. And is quickly floating back up inside, or should we say near the top 5. ESPN overlays on for this and our Night in America, kind of a 2007 throwback. Matter of fact, we have 2007 in the title. We have 2007 overlays on your screen. Schmidt P5, Hoff on the outside in 65. Champagne just gets him at the line. He's up to 6. That's what's really cool about Atlanta. You hear them breathing out of the throttle. You hear them getting back on the loud pedal. And then later on in the race, they'll continue to have to adjust the strategy. Every time we come to Atlanta, we usually get a long green flag run. Drivers are coming to pit road, and we relax those yellows. Who can figure out the pit strategy the best? Michael Mitchum, e-ticket winner. Remember that 6/10, nearly 8/10 of a lead he had? Well, it is now dwindled down to about high 3/10, low 4/10. Armstrong breathing down the back end of Van Drungman. And that's something about these young drivers, whether they've won an e-ticket or not. They struggle very heavily with these race cars that are the Gen 4, with the tracks that are old Atlanta. It's an old style of racing. It's a racing style that they're not used to. They haven't grown up with. And quickly, the ones that have either watched it growing up or used to it from when iRacing had the heavy horsepower Gen 6 stock car with low downforce, they get ready to swallow them up, and already it's toe-to-toe for that second position. Drugman goes wide, Armstrong gets loose. 2.5 tenths, that's the difference between first and second. For the ones wondering, hey, why does my voice sound that way? I'm not sure if it's coming on out, but for the last 2 or 3 days, my voice was gone. No, it wasn't because I was screaming during the race. I did have a couple of moments where I was getting really excited in the truck race at Daytona. It's because I rode a ride on the boardwalk at Daytona called Vomitron. I did not trust that ride at all. And I screamed like crazy. And we have the video. Do you want to see it? Maybe uploading it to my personal Instagram. But I think I'm also going to be adding it as a segment in a future NR Night in America, maybe this Friday. Who wants to see NR Night in America driver Nathan Dew and myself ride the Vomitron at Daytona? There's a lot of words in there that I don't think is safe for TV. You got to do a lot of editing. That was real world fear in my face. And I was not putting up. Oh, Drugman gets tagged by Armstrong and nails the inside retaining wall. Heavy damage to his left front. Man. And that's going to pull Joe well away from the Mitchell Armstrong machine. And he has dropped back heavily. Armstrong in second. He's under pressure. And that's with Jacob Wilkerson. That happened so quickly. You just kind of saw it all occur just within a matter of moments. Watch back. This is the replay. Armstrong gets loose. Washes right up the racetrack and takes Van Drugman out. Single car incident. That's the thing about Enter Night in America. We value long green flag runs. If there is a car around and it's not on the racing surface, possibly impacting other drivers, we stay green. Van Drugman spinning from second. That's not the first time we've had a let a race go green for a leader or front runner going around. Max Swearigan got sideways off turn 2 without a caution. Now, there was a little drama in that last e-ticket event that we will note, but we're not going to mention a lot because there's no need to. Yes, we saw what happened. Kai Collymore and Frank DeAngelis. Frank DeAngelis has been suspended from Enter Night in America and e-ticket events for the foreseeable future. And we don't know when that's going to change, but we do know as of right now that is the call. Won't be announcing it too much. There's a good amount of you watching right now. If someone asks that question, the answer is yes. Fight for second. Kevin Champagne, Joseph Armstrong, Michael Mitchum versus Joseph Armstrong. Joe just a sandwich between 3 big drivers. And actually, should we say, a sandwich between 2 e-ticket event winners. Kevin Champagne winning one hot night. Michael Mitchum winning the Great American 500 just last December. Joe has yet to find his e-ticket title, but a multi-time winner in NR. And it's so fun to talk about. You know, we talk about in person how there's drivers that win nothing but races left and right on the NASCAR side, but they haven't won a Daytona 500. They haven't won a Coca-Cola 600. Sideways goes to 49. That is a lap machine. It stays well off the racing surface. Chris Sade goes around. We stay green. Here's the fight, wheel to wheel. Armstrong up the middle. Gets 1, gets 2. New race leader from Atlanta. But Kevin Champagne is watching on the bottom. Can he catch the 2 Toyotas? He was wheel to wheel with Mitchum. Lays well out of the throttle before turn 1. And back to what we were talking about. Drivers that have won multiple times in NASCAR but never won a championship, a Daytona 500, a Coca-Cola 600. It's like that in Enter Night in America. Joe, one of the most winningest drivers in Enter Night in America. His first win, Michigan Xfinity, all the way back in 2021. Somehow has not won an e-ticket event yet. Kevin Champagne, he's won multiple races in NR Night. And an e-ticket champion, Kevin Champagne, one of those few drivers that have been able to do both. Michael Mitchum, one of the young studs coming in, a multi-time winner in NR, an e-ticket champion. And you scratch your head and say, Kai Collymore, how many wins does he have in NR Night? 1. It was the Florida 500 just about a week and a half ago. So, yes, you have the guys that win often on the community side, but when it comes to the big stage, they're still looking for that elusive win. Joseph Armstrong, just one of those drivers. This is the fight for the race lead. 4 drivers under a blanket. Armstrong, Kevin Champagne. Michael Mitchum there in 3rd. William Schmidt there in 4th. With 44 laps to go. 4 drivers under 3/10. Mitchum wide up near the cushion. And maybe saying a cushion at Atlanta Motor Speedway, these drivers have talked about it. When they get close to a wall, it's almost like that asphalt almost builds up a little bit because over time, the amount of wear and tear it has had, to them, it feels like a cushion. We've been saying it ever since we found out about it. Champagne is there. He creeps to the inside of the Armstrong 22. One car outside wall, that's a lap machine in 40. Michael Mitchum. And led the most laps of this race. He's now back in the 4th position. The ones that save tires are here on display. 41 to go. And oh, by the way, the closer, he's arrived a little early. In around halfway to the distance, and he's up to 3rd. That's William Schmidt. Watch back on the 4 to 500. Schmitty, unfortunate. What happened? Blew an engine. And was not able to grab his 2nd e-ticket title. He currently sits 3rd on the running order. Just inching closer and closer to the Dodge ahead of him. I love what Champagne's doing here. He's trying his luck again. Always peeking to the inside, to the center of the quad oval. Maybe a little bit on exit. Not putting his chips in the middle fully to attack the Joseph Armstrong machine, but just enough where he can maybe have a stab at it, a run at it, an attempt at it. Under a full second, 5 drivers. Jacob Wilkerson joins it. Kevin Champagne one more time. He's there. Gives plenty of room to Armstrong. No contact needed. Lap time fall off. You're looking at 3 seconds. A 39.7. The best for Joe. A 33.019, that was last time by, now a 33.138. That means deeper in the field, lap time fall-offs, you're looking at over 3 seconds. William Schmidt is there. Couldn't make it work on that end of the speedway. Schmidt to Champagne. Champagne to Armstrong. 2 Toyotas and a Dodge. A Dodge has won just 1 e-ticket event at NR Night. 2005 Daytona 500 coming in the form with Michael Gregory. They have yet to win one since that race was ran in 2022. And you see it now, nearly 3 wide. Burrows is in the mix. 8/10 back, that's for 6. 6 drivers under a full second with 36 laps to go. And if you're just tuning on in, we say hello, we say welcome. It's rush hour, it's fun. 200 likes, we'll see round number 4. We will be back this Friday night. And kind of a stream that was quickly put together. Most of the drivers, including myself, were on the road coming home from Daytona, from the Daytona 500. And already putting on a show, hasn't missed a beat at all since the last e-ticket. Schmidt tries high, inches off the retaining wall. Man, Joe got really washed wide. Had to yank the wheel to not slam the concrete barrier. 34 laps to go, and it's Toyota versus Dodge. Champagne 9, Armstrong 22. Josh Kenyon comes to a stop on the apron at turn 1. Heavy damage to his right front. That goes on. Wilkerson under trouble. That's Anthony Burrows. Burrows into the outside wall. Michael Mitchum underneath saying thank you very much. And who's the next one watching on? That's Nathan Scott back there in 7th, needing something to bite up front. 33 laps to go. Now Schmidt is there. I mean, he's doing everything he can to the center of the corner. Lap traffic in 60, or should I say lap traffic in 90. Fresh tires trying to break his way through the front runners. Kevin Champagne, first one to peel to pit road. And we knew they couldn't make it to the end on fuel. 33 laps to go. Want to point out a C-Fix truck race at Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken, is just 30 laps. And you can't go the rest of the distance on that without pitting. Tire saving in those races a little bit tough. Now compare that to a heavy Gen 4 stock car. Now they were able to roughly do just around 35 laps. Or should we say in or around maybe 32 laps, because we had a caution with about 7 laps into the race. So Champagne gets the target point he wants and looks to start the pit cycle. Armstrong, William Schmidt now first and second. Wilkerson back there in third. Anthony Burrows underneath. Can pull alongside the Wilkerson 43, just can't make the pass. Who bites next? It's a heck of an undercut for Kevin Champagne. Anthony Burrows slides onto pit road. Mitchum is in. Scott is in. Joey back in 77 will stay out. And just see how much Joe's having to fight the car off turn 2. Wilkerson, he's on pit road. Oh, he may have sped. Wow, just came to a screeching halt nearly after the yellow line. We'll see how it reviews. We've seen that before with Burrows speeding on pit road. These drivers get into a rhythm of high speed. They have to pull it down to 55 miles per hour. William Schmidt's in second. Burrows is in. Beck is in. Gavin Austin is in. Barbagallo is in. Kevin Champagne, where does he cycle out? We'll find out. Armstrong slides to the line. Same with William Schmidt in 79. So now, where's Kevin Champagne? He's in fourth. There's Champagne. There's Joseph Armstrong. It's not even going to be close. Kevin Champagne, new provisional race leader. Maybe not, because Trevor Huff was able to undercut the 9. Huff goes to provisional race leader and now very much is. But right now the stats are saying with the lap times, at least with early data, yeah, Champagne should easily pass him. Huff a 31.4 last time by. Champagne a 31.089. There's Anthony Burrows. Fresher tires indeed he will have for a run to the finish. The battle forecast for the win. Champagne versus Burrows. There's Mitchum. There's Wilkerson. There's Scott. And then there's Joseph Armstrong now back in the 7th spot. Sean Rowe is back there. Where's William Schmidt? Trevor Huff, race leader, looking at lap times, looking at data, and yes, indeed, Anthony Burrows is quicker than that of Kevin Champagne. Okay, so you got the quickness now, but when it evens out later in this run, is your handling going to be there? Is your car control going to be there? Is your speed going to be there? Is what Champagne is banking on is maybe with 5, 6, 7 laps to go. Burrows is having to fight the race car just as much as Champagne, and one lap at Atlanta makes a huge difference when it comes down to just raw speed, talent, everything. If you can get a one-lap fresher advantage on tires, you are going to take it. And for Burrows, there he is. We're going to see if he can do just that. .25 to go. 24 to go. Here's the battle for fourth. Wilkerson and Mitchum. One caution in this race. We asked the viewers below, hey, how many laps, or should we say how many cautions we'll have? 196 votes, and 37% of you said 3 to 4. We're at 1 currently. And the question is, does that continue on? Champagne in second, Trevor Huff the race leader, and he's just barreling towards that Ford Mustang. Once again, everyone watching back at home, 200 likes, we'll get race number 4. My voice may sound different, and it is because I lost my voice at Daytona with all the fun, exciting things that happened. Looking at the race in action currently on track. Off to the outside, Champagne to the bottom. He's got to try to go in and squeeze him down. Not going to happen. Huff the second, Kevin Champagne the race leader with 21 laps remaining in the race. He's going to try to fight him. And that outside lane gets a heck of a run off turn 2 as they barrel into 3. But Champagne wants none of it. You see the marbles just coming apart off that tire. And it's not doing anything. Champagne, race leader. Burrows and Wilkerson, that's third and fourth. Jacob Wilkerson, fresher tires in that 80. But still running a quicker lap time than that of Kevin Champagne. Burrows just ran a 31.78. Champagne ran a 32.072. And now remind yourself that was also being toe-to-toe with Trevor Huff. Off outside, Burrows inside. No, I don't think it's going to be much of a fight. And Wilkerson may even just creep on through. Remember that battle forecast? We said Champagne versus Burrows. Add the PBR, Jacob Wilkerson driver into it. Mitchum has a shot of also being with them with 19 laps to go, only about a 1/10.5 quicker than the top 3. He's going to need them to just go fisticuffs for the final maybe 10 laps to be relevant in that final story if it goes green. This isn't over. Did Champagne just pit a little too early? Wilkerson to the outside of Burrows. He's up the second. Gets one, wants two, and it comes from the Dodge in front of him. Champagne gives way, but will swipe the bow just once more. And for the ones that know, there's a good chance Dodge will be returning to NASCAR next year in the form of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. They have had a presence in NR Night in America since day one. Now they're toe-to-toe for the race lead with 16 and a half laps remaining. That Bobby Labonte throwback that Jacob Wilkerson is running. He also ran it in the California 500, an e-ticket event that use the overlays you currently see on your screen. Kevin Champagne, a Bill Elliott throwback from the early 2000s. Anthony Burrows, Nationwide Series, should we say maybe even a Busch Series throwback to that of Tony Stewart. And Wilkerson is giving it his all, trying to find his way around Champagne. Side by side allows Burrows to set the hook. That 80 is being reeled back in. $15 to go. And really, it's just looking for a mistake. Who's going to be the first one to slip up? And will look to be a nearly easy picking by the Wilkerson 43 ends up not being. 3 drivers under a blanket, which is also huge for maybe Joseph Armstrong. He finds his way around Michael Mitchum. This track's cooling off. That sun is setting. That wear and tear, it's not as prominent as it was at the start of this race. And look at how much rubber's been laid on the track. Go back to lap 1. This track was just pure gray. Now it's charcoal gray. A blink out of the 43. I think Burrows wants to find a way around. He does. Inside lane advantage. Lap traffic on all ends. "12 laps to go from Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is the race we have on hand. Wilkerson 43. Champagne in the 9. Wilkerson on the outside wall. And we'll say goodbye. It's Burrows versus Champagne. No, not so fast. Barrels in a heave to turn 3 to stay relevant in the equation. 6 on the board. 11 to go. Then now it's just a chess game. All the pieces on the board, every move. The difference between winning and second. Keith Ingram in 13. Champagne tries to get in front of him. He does. Lost all momentum through the center of 3 and 4. Here comes Burrows on the bottom. And Wilkerson watches on for 3rd. You would have thought that hit to the outside wall would have been just detrimental. But doesn't leave him out. Joseph Armstrong in 4th. He is closed in dearly. A 2.5 seconds, give or take, that's the difference. He needs something to go terribly wrong for the top 3. 9 to go. Wilkerson wayside. Energizes a run. Will get to the back bumper, can't do anything with it. And Burrows was just able to get a nose out in front. Remember, he has fresher tires. With all this side-by-side racing, the tire wear may have drawn even without a Champagne. And no one does it better at Legacy Atlanta. I think back to May of 2022. Kevin Champagne on the scene. ton of you watching back at home. He just licked the stamp and sent it to get a big-time win. And the Champagne name, so important, so prominent in this community. The first time we watched the brothers go at it, 2021 at Auto Club with the car tomorrow. Kevin Champagne, Justin Champagne. It's been a tale as old as time and still lives on to today. You saw Wilkerson just half a lap ago get into the outside wall. He needs something big, but with 7 to go, it's Dodge versus Chevrolet. Burrows in 80, Champagne to 9. Oh, he's gonna get there. 6 to go. And they just draw even to the middle of 1 and 2. 2 e-ticket champions in NR Night in America. Anthony Burrows won the 2022 Into the AM Southern 500. Kevin Champagne, the 2023 One Hot Night. Both multi-time winners of this community. Some say 2 of the best. Do one of them come out on top? Or maybe is it Wilkerson that finds something through? And the last thing you want to do is wreck the guy, right? You want to go out and say, hey, either I'm winning or you're winning. Let's not hand it to third. Let's not hand it to fourth. But with 4 laps to go, it's going to be the game of inches. Look how loose Champagne was off turn 4. 4 to go. Wilkerson, the switch up. He lines up with Burrows, top of the racetrack. Champagne shuts the door, the switchback. Inside, and he's just holding on. 3 to go from Atlanta. Champagne led that lap. That 43 has hit the wall multiple times. He does it a third. And if he doesn't come out with a victory, he's going to think back to the mistakes made in the final 12 laps. 2 laps to go, 3 drivers under a bubble, a 1 caution race, and this is where we stand after a green flag cycle. Burrows topside. Right on the quarter panel. He's got him, but can it stick? Champagne with the drive off for Salamanca. 1 to go from Atlanta Motor Speedway. What you got is what you got. Can you use it to your advantage? Burrows tries it again. Wilkerson isn't giving up. This is what sim racing's all about. Final time, 3 and 4. Champagne up the middle. Gets the gas off turn 4. Burrows slides. Kevin Champagne walks it off from Atlanta Motor Speedway. It just does not get better than what you just saw. This is NR Night. This is racing on iRacing. Unbelievable. And you know what? They gave it their all at the end of the day, right? This is what you can come to expect every single week. We race, we ride. Unbelievable stuff. I think Twitter, should we say X, is going to get a great kick out of that one. Unbelievable stuff, unbelievable ride, and Kevin Champagne is going to victory lane. He's the first one to claim victory on this Tuesday night. Once again, race fans, if you enjoyed this race, drop a like on this stream. Helps the community out, helps engagement, helps reach new viewers. 200 likes, we will see round number 4. You, the viewers, get to vote. And we will be back this Friday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. We're not done yet with racing. We got 2 more races guaranteed left. We go to Talladega with the car tomorrow. We go to Michigan with the Xfinity Series. And then this coming up Friday, we're back in Atlanta with the next gen. That's round number 1. We'll see what the rest of the schedule will be. Kevin Champagne burns it down. We'll get a word with your winner hopefully soon. Watch back and just listen to how they were able to make this work. All in slow mode. I mean, hand over fist, just straight going at it. You got to remember, Kevin Champagne, I mean, he was on the defensive the entire race, and there's just no way it seemed like he was going to come out the other end a winner. Wilkerson, he had the faster car out of the 3, but hit the wall 3 times in what, the last 12, 13 laps? I mean, it was insane how many times he hit the outside retaining wall. Completely upset his race car. And Kevin Champagne is able to go to victory lane. We'd like to get a word with him. If not, we'll go ahead and grab Burrows or maybe even Jacob Wilkerson. And our night in America feeling victories all year long. What a race to start this stream on off. And man, oh man, was it exciting. Let's grab a word with Jacob Wilkerson. He finished 3rd. Wilkerson, at one point, you were the fastest driver. You were definitely a big contender. What more did you need?
I just needed more laps. I was getting impatient, trying to pass Kevin on the first try, and then I slid the rear tires, and then from there on out, my car was just super loose. But, yeah.
We got to ask you this. You kept hitting the wall. It seemed like that made the difference.
Yeah, it definitely was. That's so frustrating, man. I was so much faster than those two guys, but I fell back, and I was still able to catch him back down. But since those two were side by side in front of me, I just could not get the run big enough in the closing laps there. Overall, it was still a fun race. Second sucks.
Very unfortunate indeed. Okay, a couple races though left to go, and you're getting ready for e-tickets coming up. What are some races that you like to see that prepare you for an e-ticket maybe that you're looking forward to? Maybe a Le Mans, maybe a Darlington e-ticket that's coming on up. What are some tracks would you like to see?
Some tracks that I'm really looking forward to is definitely maybe Darlington with the gen sits. I'm not too good with the gen sets, but I remember doing somewhat good in the Southern 500 back in 22 until I wrecked myself. The Indiana 500 along with the Alabama 500, I did good in both of those last year, and maybe I might be the Talladega 400. I didn't get to run last year, but hopefully I will be able to this year. And yeah, that's pretty much all.
All right, heck yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how this all works out for you. I like talking about drivers that, you know, they run up front in NR Night in America. They have the opportunity to win in NR Night in America. You're one of those guys where usually every week we get to mention you. We get to talk about you. We get to say, hey, Jacob Wilkerson can be that guy that wins an e-ticket. Is this year the year, including with how many we have?
Oh yeah, I feel like I could win at least one of the e-tickets this year. Even though I missed once. Well, actually, there's 4 super speedways this year, but I missed one of them. We still got, obviously, Alabama. I did good last year. I was one of the dominant cars, so hopefully I win that one. I feel like I could do good in the Hoosier 400 at the next gen Brickyard, I guess, and the Great American 500. That's another one that I was looking forward to last year until the late race restart. I got involved with a wreck and then fell back, but yeah.
All right, well, we'll see if you become an e-ticket winner this year. Congratulations on such a strong finish. We'll continue to see how things go throughout the rest of 2025. A lot of things to talk about, a lot of drivers to chat with. How about William Schmidt? He was up there running for the race lead at one point. Schmidt, what happened after that cycle of green flag stops?
Oh, I just completely sold the pit stop. Nothing more, nothing less. This was my, second race on the semi-new computer. I think people in the Discord know what happened after the Florida 500, but...
What happened?
My computer's power supply blew up about an hour after the event ended.
Whoa. You blew an engine, and your PC blew up.
Yep.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah, not a fun night, but... Yeah, everything's back and running, actually better than what it was before, but... Yeah, this was only my my second race on the semi-new computer, so I was a little bit rusty. We came in for pit stops. First mistake is I slightly overshot the stall, backed it up a little bit, and then I set it in neutral. And normally what I do is I set it in first and just hold the clutch in. But my brain thought that I was doing the latter, so I tried launching, but I was in neutral. It took me a couple seconds to realize that, put it back in first, one out there, so complete driver error on my part, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I always enjoy the Gen 4 races on these worn-out racetracks.
All right, heck yeah, people are talking about my stash. So for the ones that don't know, I did come back from Daytona, and I don't know what happened, maybe in the last year or two, maybe because I would, Mr. Late Bloomer over here, but I have to shave like every 3 days, and I was shaving throughout all of Daytona week. And for the ones that don't know, sometimes I'll get acne when I go to races. I had no acne. Like, I fixed all the acne heading into New Smyrna. A modified spins in front of me when I was in the grandstands, kind of rehearsing with myself before pre-race, before the Clyde Hart Memorial 200. And stuff just flew into the face. And I went, and there it is. And it's back. Just like that. It happened the same thing at Cordeal, where I went in without anything, and all of a sudden there's a spin in front of me. The dust and smoke hits me. Same thing happened at the Brickyard. Dust and smoke hits me. So it is very unfortunate that is the case. Mainly I have it this way because I need to get new more shavers, I guess that's the right way to say it. Razors, thank you so much. Thank you for the help there. I need to get new razors because the ones I use at Daytona are all dull. And basically just got in late last night. I'm talking 2 o'clock in the morning. So didn't really have the time today with all the things I had to do to catch up on for the e-ticket. Schmitty, are you running the World GP? Free entry.
I might. The free entry... I might, because originally I wasn't planning to, because I don't own the track, so I didn't want to pay
25 bucks.
Yeah, like 25 bucks. But now I have the like content owner discount thing, where like you own like more than like a certain number of pieces of content for iRacing, so you get the discount for it. It's like 40% off, but. So I think it's like 10 bucks for me. So essentially, I'd just be paying the same amount as I did for the Florida 400. I keep saying Florida 400, the Florida 500. So I mean, it's up in the air. I mean, I'm not gonna be good. I'm gonna say that now, but I think it might be a fun experience. So I might give it a shot. Yeah.
So for the ones that are wondering, it is free entry because of that. We realized that everyone that would be doing Le Mans would have to pay to enter, and with that, they all would have to pay for the track. We asked how many people had Le Mans. I think 1 or 2 did. And I thought, that's almost 25 bucks basically to enter for an e-ticket that we have never done before. And we're trying to make a big deal and consistently have throughout multiple years. That's where it becomes a little tough for us. And we're like, okay, we know we're gonna have an entry fee definitely for Darlington, because multiple people already said how much they want to run Darlington. We're gonna have an entry fee for Talladega. Let's have it as free entry for the World GP. That's why we're open to sponsorship. So if you want to sponsor an e-ticket event, great stats, great exposure in the last one. We had a 2-day show. It was like over 30,000. I believe actually over 35,000 between both the shows, 23, 15. We do some quick math here. It was about 38,000 tuned into that 2-day show. If you want to sponsor an e-ticket in the near future, email is in the description of this live stream. Schmidt, always fun speaking with you. We hope to see you at the World Grand Prix. We are here at Talladega, and it's time to go qualifying to see who the 43 drivers are that will take the green flag. Always fun, always exciting. Another cool thing about Le Mans that we're getting really excited for is we may have like 50 cars take the green flag. And that's what's going to be very exciting. Once again, if you're wondering maybe why my voice sounds just a little bit different, no worries. It's because I lost it on Vomitron on the Daytona. The Daytona Boardwalk was awesome. You know, let's continue to talk to guys and the ones that also went to Daytona. Riker Byram, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yep, got you.
Did you just get in today?
Got it. Got home? No, I got home yesterday.
Okay, you did get home yesterday. Was that originally planned, or did you move the flight up?
No, that was originally planned. I wanted to move. I wanted to get back as soon as possible because I already knew I'd be wanting to come home, even though it was a fun trip.
Heck yeah. What did you think of your Daytona trip?
It's pretty fun. It was great, honestly. I know I was asked a question a while back. Do I think it'll top Talladega? Quite honestly, I don't think it did.
Oh, really?
It did. If we're talking purely based off the race and the experience at the race, no. Overall, you know, stuff I did outside that, now that was better. I will say that. There's not a lot to do in Talladega except experience Talladega, which, you know, it's kind of hard to top. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So that was the big thing for me, and I have this debate all the time with people. What's the greatest racetrack? What's the greatest sporting facility in America? And all the time I say is Daytona. I always say that. And people have to realize when they rebuttal with Indianapolis or rebuttal with all these other sporting venues in the world, Daytona, it's a world-class facility. It's the world center of racing. It's a mecca. You know when you're going there, the energy is going to be high. You know it's going to be great. But at the same time, there's a million things to do around the track.
Exactly. That's very true.
Like at Talladega, you can't go mini golfing on the beach. Matter of fact, Talladega doesn't have a beach. Indianapolis does not have a beach. You can quickly go from International Boulevard to A1A with a million things to do. Cruising Cafe, Joe's Crab Shack. And I'm saying some things that are very light, but there's a million other things as well. When we got rain delayed from the 500, we went to Game Time to play air hockey. At Talladega, when you get rain delayed, you drink alcohol.
Which, yeah, that's the thing. That's the difference. Talladega, everything is right there on track in the infield. If you want to do something, you got to find something to do there, or bring something. And that's the thing. You bring what you want to do with you.
Right.
At Daytona, if you want to go do something, just drive down the road, and more than likely, there's something there for you to do.
Yeah, and it's exciting. It's fun. That's why I like Daytona. I'm used to just Daytona alone. Like for us, when we weren't doing anything in Daytona, we drove the hour and a half to Orlando. Like it was right there. We just decided to go to Orlando, and it was fun.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, I still think Daytona is the greatest facility because at the end of the day, a facility can be the best, but if it's the best and in the middle of nowhere, is it the best? You know, because where there's things to do outside of it, in my opinion, I still think Daytona is by far the greatest racetrack in the world.
I can personally say I didn't have as much fun there as I did at Talladega, so I don't know. I will be honest.
Yeah, that's the great thing. Opinions are opinions. Right? I have my opinion, you have your opinion. I remember telling a friend that lives in Indianapolis that I think Daytona's way better than Indy after I went to the Brickyard 400 and I got completely trashed. He's like, how can you think that? And I'm like, Daytona is Daytona. Well, then again, I also have more fun going to Daytona because, I mean, Homestead's my home track. It will always be my home track. I lived in Miami. But Daytona, with me moving to Nashville, has taken over the ranks as the tradition of going to a NASCAR race every year because in the world of racing, no one is racing Daytona 500 Sunday.
Yep.
So Homestead, there's always races going on. I have to call a race Homestead week or sometimes even National Super Speedway week. I got to call a race. I got to do this. I got to do that. So for me, Daytona just a little bit more at home. And I got to wear a suit to the truck race, which I thought was really cool.
That was great. That was great. I will say, when we went to Talladega last year, you didn't get the full experience.
That is true.
So this year, if everything goes right, hopefully you can do that. And I do believe if you have the full experience, you might be able to change your mind.
So there's a couple things I don't like about Talladega, but there's also a couple things I don't like about Daytona. There's a couple things I don't like about Nashville Superspeedway. Some things I don't like about Homestead Miami Speedway, and I like those tracks. The thing about Talladega, I do not like personally, and I know Talladega loyalists are going to get so angry, they're going to get the pitchforks out. The attendance. I don't know what has happened, but attendance has fallen off, and nobody wants to talk about it. It is crazy how much attendance has fallen off at Talladega Superspeedway, and it's it's the baddest NASCAR track ever. It's an amazing,
for sure.
It is so cool. But I will say the infield is a completely different beast, because at the end of the day, Talladega can get rid of its grandstands. NASCAR can have 10 people watching, and the infield will somehow still sell out. It's just how it is.
Yeah, the infield is the main attendance that they have there. At Talladega. I'm pretty positive it comes very close to selling out every single year. It might honestly sell out every single year.
The infield sells out at Talladega every year for sure.
I figured it did. But yeah, that alone. I mean, they have concerts in there. There were maybe 5, 6, 7,000 people there in last year just for the concert. So, you know, they could have that. Quite honestly, like you said, they could remove the grandstands, and I think that infield alone would be just fine because of how many people show up to it. It is pretty incredible, quite honestly.
Yeah, and the thing about Daytona is, and we can keep talking about how NASCAR back in the day used to have everything sold out, but that's a different era. Like nowadays, there's tracks that are growing, and then there's tracks that aren't growing. I worry about Talladega. I really do. Now, I don't think Talladega's going anywhere. Talladega can outlast anything. Nobody wants that land there in Alabama. But the problem with Talladega is when you go there, and let's say you're like a family of 4, you just want to go to Talladega, I don't see too many great areas to stay. Maybe in Birmingham. I'm not sure what the whole Birmingham situation is like. But at Daytona, they have nice hotels. Even the ones that look rough on the beach, actually inside are nice. You have Palm Coast. You have Jacksonville to stay in. You have Orlando to stay in. There's some people that stay out in Georgia to go to Daytona. Over there in Valdosta, all the way down to maybe even a Palm Beach in South Florida. So that's the thing about Daytona. There's a lot of variety to stay at to get just the best experience, the most comfortable experience. Talladega, maybe because I just don't know enough about it. I've been to Talladega twice, and both experiences were quick in and out.
Well, I will tell you, there's about 2 or 3 towns that I would say are less than 45 minutes away from Talladega that have very good places to stay.
I would say Birmingham would probably be the best.
No, I'm not even talking about there. I'm just talking maybe there's just small towns around it that have, a bunch of restaurants. Now I'm talking like, mainstream restaurants, and then on top of that, they have the little mom and pop places. Right. Local places. And there's nice hotels in these places.
It's just a different experience. And honestly, I'm not saying Talladega is bad. I like Talladega. I mean, there's a reason why I continue to go to Talladega. It's just I personally like the Daytona experience more, just because I'm a fan of the beach. Florida's my home state. And Talladega, it is a good experience. It's just a different experience. Same with Indianapolis. Go to Indianapolis. Go to the Indy 500, the Brickyard 400. It's a different type of experience. It's just more of what everyone's preference is.
Yep.
No one can disagree that if you go to Indy, you go to Talladega, you go to Daytona, they're going to be fantastic. You're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, Daytona's just more mainstream, quite honestly.
That's the best way to put it, yes.
Talladega is more local, like bring your buddies from high school, all of them, and go down there and have fun for 5 days. Daytona's more formal.
It is. It very much is.
Yeah, Talladega's just come down here, have fun, and then on top of that, you got 3 or 4 awesome races to watch at the end of the day.
Heck yeah. Best put by Riker Byron. We're getting the 1 to green. Good luck there. 2x2. What is everyone's opinion? What do you like better? Talladega, Daytona? Have you been to both? Do you want to go to both one day? Let us know down in the live chat below. Both great options. Toyota Chevrolet, that is the front row as they get ready to line up 2x2. COT Racing at Talladega. You can't get any faster than what you're about to see. Light the fuse from Alabama. The brace for turn 3. Jackson Mize on the outside. Oh, Herder. He saves it. Michael Mitchum, the race leader. 225 miles per hour. Josh Lilly, there he is, cracking the 234. Lilly did sign up for the World Grand Prix. He will be back with us. Looking for his first e-ticket title, a community event winner. Won the truck class with a Daytona 2.4. Chris Zarate. Just underneath Jackson Mize. And they just absolutely just hammer down. 28 to go. The thing about these COTs are they get so light underneath, it's so easy to get air underneath them. When iRacing created these cars, they did not add in the roof flaps. So the cars very easily just lift off the ground. There's Austin, there's Mitchum. All lined up and loaded. Mitchum in 7. Watching Austin in 2. Look at the data. And we just cannot slow these cars down. A lot of areas to pass, a lot of areas to roll. You're not boxed in. It's the best of what you got. Trouble, spin, and liftoff. Goes the 07. That's Jerry Rodriguez. Comes to rest on all 4s. Caution will wave. Oh, we may have clipped someone at the end. 83, Skylar Comstock gets nailed in the side. Marcus Vanderlee. Check that, William Johnson. Watch back and see. We'll start with the 9 and actually the machine ahead of him getting into the outside wall. Just look at how Rodriguez slipped on over. See it again. Yeah, the second Rodriguez got clipped and got turned around backwards. You almost just expected it to happen. Quickly goes up and into the air, back on all 4s. What was the view from inside his car? Let's see. Caution out for the first time. Rodriguez able to nurse the car back to pit road. He got light on his toes, but somehow was able to keep all 4 rolling. We'll continue to chat with drivers. Let's start with Rodriguez. J-Rod, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Well, the car went end over end, and I'm going to say end over end. It just went upside down and went spoiler first. I'm curious to see what the damage, A, is like. B, can you continue? And C, is the spoiler still even on the car?
Well, I came into the pits. You only got 4 minutes of optional, so that's the best thing about it.
That's 4 minutes of optional right there?
Yep.
Wow.
I'm surprised it ain't required.
So what is required?
It's just the required damage that you have. Like if I don't know, if I had front end damage, a meatball or something, I have to stay in for amount of time I got.
All right, well. It'll be interesting to see if you can go ahead and get it fixed up. How did you get that 07 on the car tomorrow?
I don't know. I found it. It was just sitting in my paint.
It was actually just sitting in there?
Yeah, apparently I was running it. I don't know how. I haven't ran this in like 3 years, so.
Huh. Well, I guess that's one way to go ahead and figure it all out.
Yeah, but I was just like, you know what? I'll just run this. Give it a good old laugh right here.
Heck yeah, we'll continue to talk with other drivers. Rodriguez, good luck. Continue to monitor multiple situations before the end of this race. Multiple guys to talk to, multiple to speak with. 25 laps to go here in race number 2. For the ones just tuning on in, looking for Atlanta, that was round number 1. If you're looking for the Florida 500, that was raced just about a week and a half ago. Next e-ticket event will be March 7th. Don't want to miss out on it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Excitement all around. Chevy and Ford, that's the new front row. Shamela with Middleton will be toe-to-toe, and we'll get the one to go this time by. Love chatting it up with drivers. We saw Gavin Austin up front. Austin, John Ramos, you got a copy?
I do have a copy, John. Thank you.
Heck yeah, getting ready to line it up. 24 to go. How was your Daytona trip?
Oh man, it was awesome. Got to spend time with family that Friday, Saturday, and then went to the track on Sunday, and it was awesome experience. Really fun.
Did you stay for the whole race?
I did.
All right.
It was worth it.
That is what we're talking about. Well, next race, what's next up for you, Phoenix?
Yeah, Phoenix in a couple weeks will be my next race. I will be attending, which I'm looking forward to. Can't wait.
Going to be fun. 24 to go in this race. Car's getting light on the heels. What's the game plan?
I don't know. I split it 3 early on and got my way up to 4th, and then I slid through my box under this yellow, so lost a couple positions, so I'm starting, I think, right outside the top 10, but looking my way to work back up to the front, hopefully put on a show for everyone watching.
Have you been reading the live chat? Hear what anyone's saying?
I have not, no.
Who thinks Gavin Austin's going to go to victory lane in this race? Just say yes he will, no he won't. Let's see how that all goes. Good luck.
Thank you, John.
That's Austin. He's hanging out with Comstock. Josh Kenyon is in this race. We saw Michael Mitchum take the lead at one point. Mitchum, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's up, John?
You were leading at one point. This car is interesting. Only 24 laps to go. What's the game plan?
Get back up front and don't end up wrecked. We got an EOL.
Ooh, too fast speeding on entering or exit?
Entering. That was unfortunate.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
That means Mikey Mitchum is heading to the rear. 23 laps to go in this race. Every time we go to Talladega, it's unpredictable. Every time we go with the car tomorrow, it's unforgettable. 23 to go from Alabama. Huff in tow, Middleton in tow, McDowell in tow. Huff the race leader, Shamela to the bottom. You see some guys struggling to get the car to stick on the bottom. Going wide, make it 3 wide. One spinning upside down. Cole Trudeau. With multiple cars involved, the caution will wave again. I believe that's Lane Sanders. No, Caden Perkins. I got a piece of it. Michael Mitchum, remember he got the EOL. A lot of damage to his machine. And the caution will wave for the second time. Kenya and others able to go ahead and work their way through it. End over end went one, and now here we are under the yellow flag for just the second time. And the thing about Car Tomorrows here, it's all attrition based. How quickly can you get up front? Can you stay up front and not wreck the race car? It's Max Steinmeier. There's Cole Trudeau, and you just saw it. Watch again in slow mode. Yeah, so originally it looked like he got a tap in the middle of the corner. Mitchum goes wide. Trudeau was not clear, and liftoff for the second caution of this race. Slam back on the roof. There are Caden Perkins. Almost gets lifted on the right side. You see Christian Delgado. Leighton Sanders did get a heavy piece of it. And everyone just worked up the embankment of the tri-oval with loads of damage on all ends. Caution is out once again. Now 21 laps to go. We'll get an update on who is still racing and who maybe was impacted. Snow covering up the Midwest actually either today or into tomorrow. I know Tennessee is going to get a whole lot of it, so everyone be safe out there. Let's continue to chat it up. How about Lane Sanders? Sanders, John Ramos, you got a copy.
Ow. Got ruined by the other 86 car.
So in that moment, what is there that you can do? Like, there's a wreck in front of you in the car tomorrow. Is it something that you can woe up pretty quickly? What are you looking for? Are you looking for an opening? It's all got to be quick reactions, right?
There's no woeing up quickly with this car at the speeds we're going, John. It's just I thought they were all spinning in the apron. They were in the grass, and I had I had people stopping all around me, and I was just like, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and go. There's smoke, all the smoke's on the inside, and I got blindsided. I had no clue that the imposter 86 was right there, and I rung the bell in that case. Man, broke the car. Absolutely. I got a couple of horses left in the race, but this horse is just it's all to pieces. It's such a shame. I usually love coming here with the COTs and the 87s. They're one of my bread and butter combos. Yeah, no, we got in that dumb wreck, that dumb 20-car wreck in turn 3, because I've never seen, John, you wouldn't believe it, I've never seen somebody intentionally drive onto the apron, not lift, jerk, and just spin themselves out and take 20 cars with them. I've never seen that. It's just I have a feeling I know who it was, but I'm not going to say on the stream. But good riddance is all I got to say. It's a shame. The Pyrus, I think I have a nice shot. The Pyrus Chevrolet is such a nice race.
It is.
And now we gotta. I'm gonna be sitting here watching. I guess watching up from the couch, I suppose.
All right. Well, still got a third race tonight. Maybe 200 likes. We can get a fourth. All up in the air, but nonetheless, we'll be back this coming up Friday. Atlanta Motor Speedway. You've been to Atlanta in person. What is the venue like?
Oh my God, Atlanta! It is. They took a good racetrack in a lot of aspects, and they made it a good racetrack in a lot of different aspects. I've been to Atlanta twice. I went last summer, and I went last August, and the July race before that. The July race of 23 was one of the best races I had ever seen, and it's a shame that it got rain. I loved it, and the amenities are really good. The track, it's such a different kind of race track, because you have what's essentially a plate race, but it's on such a small scale,
Right.
Because it's a mile and a half, and the way they have it, because the stands are so close to the track, it's such an experience.
Are you going to Atlanta this week?
I won't be going to Atlanta this week. I'm still TBA on the can't remember if it's an August race or if it's a July race again. Can't remember, but still TBA on that. I will be going to Indianapolis this year for the 500, so I'm really excited about that.
Heck yeah.
Just real excited. Everywhere.
Well, we got to drag you back because we're getting ready for the restart here. That was Lane Sanders who's involved in that incident. Let's get ready to rock and roll just one more time. 19 remaining from Talladega. Trouble again. There goes the 88. Herder up and into the air, back on all fours. Caution is out once more. And it takes out multiple. Josh Kenyon got a piece of it, the 88. Jackson buys. The 47 with a piece of it, Cole Trudeau. And another one bites the dust. It just happens so quickly. This is happening in front of the field. Watch the 88. I mean, I don't know where he was going, but there was, I mean, no room on that outside lane. Caution is out. Once again, this time with 18 laps to go. You saw it all just unfold. Let's watch on board with Jackson buys. Another one bites in. Pit road is wide open. Not too many cars left in this race. From the wildness that just occurred, let's talk the buys. Buys, John Ramos, what'd you see?
Ben Herder cleared himself, and then Keith Ingram kept the foot down.
And Keith Ingram kept the foot down. Yeah, not a lot of braking through the center of it. Is the car done?
8 minutes of required and 5 minutes of optional.
All right, pretty
Definitely
cool.
Done.
Well, not cool. Excuse me. Very much not cool. You're heading to Michigan after this, nonetheless, with an opportunity. What's maybe something you thought of that could have been a little bit different on that restart?
Well, I was told Gavin was going to jump it, and he didn't jump it, so I got caught behind people. And then, yeah, 18 just drove up, and I had nowhere to go.
All right. Well, unfortunate that all transpired the way it did. Nonetheless, an opportunity at a restart. Is it still possible? Is the car done?
It's going to need some more cautions. I might be able to get back in it.
Good to know. That's Jackson Buys, one of the Controller Bros drivers that got a piece of it. I'm looking around this field. There's not much left. Josh Kenyon, what do you got here? And we cannot hear Josh Kenyon. Very low on the microphone. Maxed out currently. Let's try again. Josh Kenyon, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Hello?
There we go. Josh, what's going on?
We just got in that wreck. The 88 just decided to do whatever he wanted to, and then everybody stacked up, and people halfway down the backstretch were still full throttle and just plowed straight through us. So we got like like 7 minutes of damage I gotta take, but quite sad since I won the first duel of 2025 here and almost won that race, but I got wrecked by somebody I think in top 5 right now. But hopefully we can get back out there and maybe get a win, but we'll see.
All right, going to be a lot of fun to see how that all runs down. Another race after this one, Michigan Xfinity. Do you think that fits you well?
Maybe. Not too bad with the Xfinity car, but there's a lot of good people in here with the Xfinity car, so we'll see how it goes. But I do like Michigan, and I think I could be fast there, so we'll have to wait and see.
All right, good luck. That's Josh Kenny. We get the 1 to go. Lined up, heading forward. I'm looking at how many guys left racing. You're not looking at too many, maybe less than 20 remaining that just want to get to the finish. And this is the product of Car Tomorrow at Talladega. Here's some trivia for all of you before we get ready to start it all again. What's the e-ticket event that not a single Toyota let a lap in? Anybody know? Do you know? I think you know. I know some of you hardcore viewers know. The e-ticket event that not a single Toyota let a lap in. Trivia is open in the live chat. Two by two, what is it gonna be? Cars on the outside, cars on the inside through the restart zone. Trace McDowell, Sean Rowe, back green from Talladega. Sean Rowe, Gavin Austin. There's McDowell watching on for third. Trying everything and anything. The speeds are high, the intensity is high. 3 wide, here they go. Rowe in fourth, Byram in fifth. 13 to go. And Gavin got to lead, but it's going to be easy to lose. You got to watch out for the tire wear. McDowell goes wide. He still has Sean Rowe behind him. McDowell on the wall, slides sideways, lift off down the backstretch. And the question is, do they throw it knowing these drivers are all out, or do they let them race? There's Sean Rowe, Daniel Murphy, Max Steinmeier. Not too many cars left. Let them race. 12 to go from Talladega. And that's the right call. Riker Byram, there he is. Byram in 24. fights down the Alabama gang super stretch. Chad Hornish, Joey back. You see them trying anything and everything. And with 11 laps to go, who sits out of the table? Dean Brummett. Brummett leads. And Byron passes in a second. Trivia answer, I don't think anyone's got it yet. Austin watching on for third. Can see it all unfolding in front of him. 10 laps to go. Dean Brummett, the race leader. Austin underneath. Will clear, but the drivers behind him. Hopes to block them rest of the way. Riker Byram. He's got it. He's got the advantage. Austin to the inside. Catches the quarter panel. Help from the 99. Make that the 29. Sorry. Gave him a shove. But it didn't work out. 9 to go. Crossover Shamela. Nine to go, 8 to go. All Chevys up front, followed by a Ford in fourth. And they're going to be giving it 110% back to this line, I'm telling you. It is not over. Riker Byram has not won a race since the Battle of the Beach from 2024. Gavin Austin, a winner this year. Dirt Bristol. He sits second. Marty Shamela, what can he do? Seven to do it at the line. I just don't think Austin can make the move on that end of the speedway. He's got to wait just a little bit longer. 6 to go. When they do reach the stripe, not many cars running. This is what you got. 50 entered. 41 took the green flag. Maybe just a handful in the lower double digits. Left racing for the win. And that's the thing about Byram. Put him in a situation where he can win. He will be there running no matter what. But getting that position is so tough for him. The second he gets there, a sure shot of adrenaline. Shamela in third, Zade in fourth, Eric Lambert in fifth. What to do, what to do. Just can't make a move just yet. Austin in two. Probably looking for something. Thinking about something. And if these two get collected, what does Marty Shimela run with? He sits P3. Four to go. And everyone asking the same question. Can Riker Byram run away with his first win in over a year? Or the young drivers behind him maybe steal it away? Trace McDowell, 21 inches off the retaining wall. No, I don't think he can do it there. Tries it again on the inside. The thing about Austin is he has to worry about third, but at the same time trying to get something rolling in front of him. He almost got into him. Runs wide, coming to 2 laps to go. Riker Byram mirror driving, trying to keep the field at bay. McDowell to the outside. Can't work there. Now trying to move to the inside. Austin sideways. He's into the wall. Keeps it running forward. Shimela versus Byram. Here from Talladega. Shimela up top, not gonna work. Salamanca, 1 to go from Alabama. All right, you've got the opportunity. It's here. How do you use it? Marty Shimela back to the rear. Can you make the move? And if so, when? To the inside of the Alabama Gang super stretch. He's got help. That's Zari. Zari to the bottom. Shimela in the middle. Byram on the outside. Contact. Spinning. Marty Shimela, second win of 2025. Wow. And it comes from Talladega. Reviewing. The race is under review, they're saying. That's the same that happened with his first win. Question if his turning down on Mosteller was a thing. And they want to review it. Just got the call, yes, from the admin list. Check it to make sure. That's been our new norm, checking to make sure. Did he turn down on anyone in this field? We've taken wins already this year away. We took it away from Armstrong from the turning down. The first one did not get taken away for it being borderline. You see the huge hit out of the 29. The first win was a race 5 really late at night. Didn't take it away. And very reminiscent to that. That was a Gen 6 race, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, he came up. And we do say if you do that, It is a big no-no. Watch again. This time slowing it down. Did he hook him or is it clean? We'll see what the chat thinks, but here it is. Yes, Byram is coming down, but that wheel is hard to the right. Now, was it intentional? And that's something that you can question on your own. Look at the air. You got to go underneath the 29 machine. One more time. We're letting them take home on this one. I'm just going to announce it. Yeah. When it's so close, I think it's just racing at the end of the day. I mean, Riker was coming down. I don't know why Shamela was going up. That's more of the question. And I don't think it was intentional personally. I just think it's more of just, you got to hold your line right here. I don't know what Shamela was trying to work with. But this is now the second time he has done something like this. Now, the first one didn't get taken away. Oh, and we just got an angle from a third-person view, and that should call it there. Marty Shamela disqualified, and we did see our view. Hopefully, that is sent to the Discord. And it will be sent to Blue Carpet in the Discord if you guys want to see it. Marty Shamela disqualified for intentional wrecking coming to the line. Trevor Huff has won this race, and we're going to discuss with him in just a moment. Now, we saw an angle. Very, very tough to see. Huff, John Ramos, congratulations on your win at Talladega.
Oh my gosh. I turned away for 5 seconds. Oh my goodness. Wow, that is unbelievable. I mean, obviously I don't want to win it that way, but man, I'll take it.
Heck yeah. I mean, and we reviewed it. But the thing is, so for let's add some context here, because everyone's gonna be questioning. For the ones that are just watching, wondering, and we saw the live chat. We've been cracking down on intentional wrecking on super speedways because we don't want that product. We saw the product we just had at Atlanta. We want that everywhere, you know? And you think back to 2 weeks ago, what happened? Marty Shamela, race 5, Rex, Demos, Rex, Riker, Byram. 90% of the chat thought it was intentional. We did nothing about it. Come here. Yeah, race number 2, he goes up easily, maybe 10 yards, takes Byram out. Yes, Byram was coming down, but not to hit him. Marty went way up the racetrack. And on that part of the racetrack, you really need to come up that much. This is more of a, hey, you're not going to win that way. We're not going to bring that stuff to our community. Trevor Huff, welcome to Victory Lane.
Thank you so much, man. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, I didn't even expect to. I just looked at, I was watching the video because I was thinking about doing the Michigan race and I wanted to see if I could get in. But man, you know, I've won races in NASCAR stuff before, and I've competed along with some of those guys before. But I don't know, something about winning this is crazy to me. Huge thank you, shout out John, appreciate you putting on these races, man, and the chat as well. You guys are awesome. But man, that's crazy. I don't even know what to say. I was down on power. I was literally drifting those corners to be able to catch up, man. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, for the ones that don't know, for the e-ticket events, if you intentionally wreck on a super speedway, or at least you're being erratic, you're in this desperation mode. I'm not saying Shamela wrecked him on purpose, but let's think for a moment here. He thinks his race is done at this moment, right? Riker's got to run on the outside. Zarate's got to run on the bottom. Shamela's losing momentum here, so now he's in desperation mode. What does he need to do? Wow, this is actually a really good angle. I'm going to come up the racetrack to maybe side draft, quote unquote, but there's no side drafting this car tomorrow. Am I right, Huff? Is there no side drafting in the COT?
Oh no, not at all. These things will, I mean, netcode's so bad in this car and the Gen 4 and the Xfinity car that if you get close to try and side draft somebody, that you're killing them.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you saw. So there's no side draft in the car tomorrow. So now you're working your way up the racetrack. You've already lost the most amount of momentum. Out of all those 3 drivers lined up, if this was an e-ticket event, he would have lost completely. And we're bringing a lot of stuff from the e-ticket side over to NR to clean stuff up, because one day these drivers will have an opportunity at running in an e-ticket event. So if things aren't going to fly on our highest stage of the esport events, they shouldn't fly in NR Night in America, including coming to the line. That's kind of our things that we've been talking about, just to prepare guys for that big stage when there's thousands watching. For Mari Shamela, that's a big no-no. Trevor Hoff, you've attempted a race in the NWP 400. This may have just given you a big lock into a future e-ticket.
Yeah, man. I mean, onto the penalties thing as well. I mean, I understand forefront. You know, I've had accidents where I didn't do it intentionally, but you know, I have to admit, I have to understand that I made a mistake and I have to suffer the consequences for it. But yeah, man. I mean, this is huge, honestly. Last year, coming off of a really rough year in racing for me, in my real life stuff and in sim racing, I didn't win one race, and then now I've won the top split Daytona 500 and an NR Night event, and that just means so much to me.
And that's what we love to hear. For the ones that also are questioning, we did the same thing with Joseph Armstrong just about a couple weeks ago. He turned hard left on a driver, was the first one across the line. We took that win away. Why did we take it away? Because there's viewers watching back at home that one day will attempt to race an NR Night in America. There's drivers that are racing an NR Night in America currently that will see that and say, okay, I guess this is socially acceptable. It's not. At the end of the day, race it on out. And the hardcore drivers, those great drivers that run all the time, they will see stuff like that and say, maybe I don't want to race anymore, because if I'm side by side for the win and the guy with the least amount of momentum comes his way off turn 4, 3 wide, is he just going to hook me because I'm faster than him? That's not racing in our eyes. And in sim racing, it's easier to make the decision to wreck someone like that than it is in person. I know we saw some people talking about reality. The reality is sim racing rules don't exactly line up with in-person rules. So you have to make a bigger judgment call than it would be where somebody destroys an $800,000 race car in person, climbs out, and possibly has to deal with a fisticuff situation. Here, we have to step in and take action. It was already controversial 2 weeks ago, where a lot said he got away with one easily. I don't think he's going to be able to. He's not getting away with this one in this situation. Very unfortunate. Mark Shamela, great guy. I haven't met him. He is going to be a great driver nonetheless, but that a big no-no. Watch it again. Zari underneath Shamela. And this is also for people that are going to be watching Le Mans, watching Talladega. You know, and you're going to ask, okay, what if someone moves someone for the win at Le Mans? We'll get into that later. That's a question we have to ask with all the drivers. What is socially acceptable? Are we going to take wins away from that? Is that going to be a purse separation? All those decisions, if we do have to review, come down onto the sim. But at Talladega, let's say this was for the Alabama 500. Now, I don't think that would be flying if the driver sitting 3 wide middle that lost all momentum comes up the track to hook the driver with the most momentum down to the other one with the second most amount of momentum. And that's just how it works at the end of the day. Great call by the Adamans. I'm happy I sat back. That was a big test for us to make sure that we have a good lineup there. Marty Shamela will not win that race. Trevor Huff, congratulations. What do you want to say to these viewers back at home?
Thank you so much. I want to say thank you all to the viewers. Back in my days, it was 2 years ago at Talladega, right here at this track, I was just a couple of inches away from winning my first NR Night in America race, and I was in the Cheerios 3 car. And for a long time, people called me the Cheerios guy, and you know, I want to lay back on that, and I just want to say that I've come a long way here just to have fun, and I didn't expect this at all. First time back in NR. I took a break from NR since we raced at Homestead last year, and I haven't raced in a long time, and then I put out a tweet and said that I was going to come back and run. And man, John, I tell you, can't believe that the first time that I'm back running, I got the win. But you know, like I said, you don't want to win it this way, but I will definitely take it. So huge thank you to the chat and everybody in there for sticking around. You guys are awesome. You guys are why we do these races. And thank you, John, as well, for putting these races on. We really appreciate you a lot. And my personal guys, JRS Racing, huge guys. They put me into Road to Pro last year, and we ran a heck of a season. So it's surreal. I can't believe it.
Heck yeah, indeed. Congratulations on your win. Session is up. Password is IDK for the next race. And yes, foot being put down a lot more than it used to maybe about a year or a year and a half ago in NR Night in America. We know we started putting the foot down a lot more in e-tickets since the 2023 Daytona 500, but you know, trying to bring things over more to NR Night just to get more drivers ready for e-ticket events. We'd have so many great drivers have an opportunity to race in e-tickets, and we want to make sure they're all ready to go, because when you're on the biggest stage, we hope you do respect everyone the same way they should respect you. Trevor Huff, congratulations once more. Let's continue to discuss and chat with others as things go on. Let's talk with Josh Kenyon. Kenyon, you just saw how it all went down. What's your opinion?
Hello?
Yeah, I think we almost lost him. There he is. Kenyon, you just saw how it all went down. What's your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously close, but it is really hard. He's pretty notorious for doing this kind of things all across the iRacing, and you know, I love the guy. I've been racing with him, pretty much started at the same time in NR, but I mean, he did this to Demos and Riker just a few weeks ago at Talladega. Again, he's done it in other leagues, and he himself just posted some clips in Blue Carpet, and even his head cam of it, and I mean, it just shows him wrecking into Riker.
And we do want to say we are reading the chat. We are listening to everyone. We want to be consistent. That is the goal. But we also want to be consistently correct. And if times are changing where we need to be a little bit more, you know, putting a foot in saying, hey, that can't happen, then that's where we need to be more consistent on that. I believe that is the first step forward. And this is more on the super speedway side. Bumping and running, short track racing, you know, we're going to allow that to be the way it is. Same with road course racing, bumping and running and all that stuff. It's more the fact that super speedway, flat out, desperation mode, it's very common across iRacing to have more of those issues than it would be on an intermediate. And I think we look back to Atlanta. If Champagne would have wrecked, let's say Wilkerson or Burrows, those three respect each other so much, we wouldn't even stepped in because they would have figured it out at the end of the day. But this is a situation where it's, you got to look at the consistency of a driver. Is a driver consistently like that? Demos used to be like that. We used to have to step in all the time about him. They used to call him Dirty Demos because Demos, off turn 4 all the time, used to hook left on a driver to win. Now, over time, Demos obviously got smarter and is a very well-respected driver. Doesn't really do that anymore. But that is something that it all kind of just came down to.
Yeah, we looked at it, and it just didn't make any sense for Marty to kind of come up, and it made sense more for Riker to come down because, you know, he's trying to get the momentum, and Marty just moving up on him just didn't make any sense as somebody in the middle line.
I love debating, by the way. I mean, the right answer, the wrong answer. I mean, the answer that we gave is the answer we gave, but at the end of the day, whatever you all say, that is fully acceptable opinion-wise, because there really is no right or wrong answer in that. Because, I mean, yes, we've seen a lot worse at NR, have we not? We have seen a whole lot worse, and we don't like seeing that much, you know, situations. It's more the fact of, hey, we got a lot of drivers. We got a lot of new drivers coming in as well. You know, they see this stuff. They watch this stuff. And for a lot of them, they use NR Night in America to better themselves on iRacing, get themselves ready for an e-ticket event. It's just more of, in my opinion, putting the foot down a little bit more helps us prepare drivers for that big moment, that big event that they have an opportunity at having in the near future. And I think that's something that we probably need to go down. Agree, disagree, let us know down in the chat below. Seriously, because this is what we do. It's a whole community. I know we've seen a lot worse, and I've done nothing about it. We've gotten flack and just went on to the next race. This is just more of the fact that, hey, we've seen Marty a lot in here. We're going to continue to see new drivers in here. We're going to have new veterans one day. and they kind of hold ranks over the guys that come up next. I think the best explanation of that is look at the e-ticket event. When Kai Collymore was racing in the Florida 500, we mentioned this. Kai Collymore's track record was abysmal heading into it. It was terrible. And Kai Collymore was known for wrecking people. Matter of fact, I got questioned on why he was even in the e-ticket event. And in the middle of the race, Kai Collymore would make a move. And who would go with him? Nobody. Nobody went with him. He stayed in the top 12 the entire time, and I don't think he was able to control the race at all because nobody wanted to work with him. So, who did drivers like to work with? Even though Sona didn't last as long, they wanted to work with the Moviks of the world. They wanted to work with the Armstrongs, the Champagnes. They wanted to work with the guys that have the veteran status. And those guys that have this veteran status really have the same, I want to say, respect, even though some of them have made mistakes in the past because they're all human. You got to think about it in Joseph Armstrong. Minus Armstrong's shenanigans a couple weeks ago at Daytona, that wasn't in the Florida 500. His track record has been really good since like 2022, 2023, of being consistent to the point you can respect them. The goal is, in one day, in the next 3 years, we're going to have new veterans. Will those veterans be respected? One way to gain respect as a veteran is if you win consistently, cleanly, and you're a hard-fought driver, you're a skillful driver. Veterans don't earn respect by just walling someone for a win. Even though, yes, it's entertaining. I love calling wild, fantastic races, wild, fantastic finishes. For the next generation coming up, it's all about seeing, it's all about perception and what is socially acceptable. I think that's where we need to make a big, big difference. If that made any sense, I hope that made a good bit of sense. Yeah, I just want to point something out for everyone in here. The Toyota question on how many Toyotas led a lap. Oh, no, check that. What am I saying? Let's try that again. The question that was asked was, what was the e-ticket where a Toyota didn't lead a single lap? Does anyone know? We started looking in that live chat. I don't think I saw anyone say it just yet. There was one e-ticket where not a single Toyota led a lap. I'll give a hint here. It also finished second in that race. And Toyota finished second in that race. It shocked the heck out of everyone. Photo finish happened at Talladega. Abraham Vila, he sits fourth. Riker Byram, he sits eighth. Beck, McKinney, Comstock. And the answer was the 2022 Talladega 500. Middleton, Austin. We'll get ready to go green. 40 drivers ready to take the green flag. Singer, Campbell, William Schmidt up the second, a minute and a half remaining, a single car qualifying. Mitchum, Vila back to fifth. Let's continue to talk with drivers. We just saw and heard what happened. Let's hear from Abraham Vila. Vila, John Ramos, how are you?
Pretty good. What about you, John?
I'm doing fantastic. First center night back for the Florida 500. Now that the Florida 500 is behind you, what are some thoughts that you have?
That last lap gave me nightmares, I can't lie, John. Wow, I was so close, man. Just lost focus when I saw Adams and Dean was wrecking, but we go for the next one. It's Le Mans or everything. I'll be ready. Hopefully I can get it, you know. I've been so close so many times. I don't know. I don't know when. That's the main question. When is it? Oh, yeah.
It is March 7th.
Yeah. I mean, Le Mans, road course racing.
No chicanes. No chicanes on the Mulsanne, by the way. I'm going to continue to say that. That is important to know.
See, I need clamps for my pets. If I have clamps, then maybe I can compete. But every time I'm right, it goes forward. So if I get a clamp before March 7th, hey, I'll be there. I'll be there. But right now, I'll stick with my oval. You know, I feel like I'm very fast in ovals. Always have been. So that's the plan, John. Just like I said, I'm just kind of after the race. You don't understand how disappointed I was, or like sad, bro. It was. I mean, I turned away. I saw the travel. He won. Only guy I got worried about is Kai, bro. Kai was behind me. He hit me a little off, pushed me up the track, got to my left rear, and just I tried to turn left and block, and I got myself.
All right. Yeah, I mean.
Go ahead, John.
Are you there? Sorry, I thought I could have sworn you just lagged on it. Okay, you are there.
Good.
Le Mans is going to be a lot of fun. Do you have a paint scheme ready in mind?
Is it, what car is it? Gen 6, right? Or
Next gen.
Next gen.
I think you got to run back Crown Royal, personally. That is probably the nicest scheme you've ever had.
I mean, Crown Royal, come on. I might have to run it back. I mean, that Crown Royal car was fast. Alright, it was fast. You know what? Rerun it. I'll rerun it. I'm bringing back the Crown Royal to Le Mans. You hear that, chat? I'll rerun it. I'm going to Le Mans. R7. I'll be there. I don't know how to be fast. I need some test sessions, but I'll be ready. John.
All right, heck yeah. We probably actually will start testing for Le Mans tomorrow. I was actually just looking at the calendar of when we're going to get that going. It has to be tomorrow. We're thinking about reopening the signups tomorrow as well. And kind of just getting guys in the flow, Le Mans testing, because it is time. Like, it is go time. We're within a couple weeks of Le Mans happening. And I'm pretty excited personally for it all to go down. Who's going to win? That's going to be the interesting part. I mean, we already got some different people on that list, but I mean, I'm looking at some of the people that said, hey, I'm joining that. I'm signing up when you reopen the signups. We're going to have a great, great group of machines ready to roll with us.
Hey, John, are we doing the point system for...
Yes, we are.
All right, man.
The only reason it's not being discussed a lot is because it's not going to be the main focal point of e-tickets. The e-ticket standalones are already a big thing, but who's the best of the e-tickets throughout the year? We are keeping that all up to date and watching out. 35 laps, Abraham Vila starting out there in 7th. Darlington, hey, it's not that far away, but this car track combo is pretty interesting.
Darlington, one of my best tracks. I think I was a 21-22 for the 7500. I was top 3. It was Wyatt, that's before I got my man tag, so I feel fast, John. I feel ready. So can't wait for that combo. I'll be ready. Le Mans, it's gonna be a little struggle, but if I can find the track early enough to practice, I'll be ready. Darkness, I got that circle. That's
Heck yeah. Do you have a throwback in mind? I mean, personally, I love your Crown Royal stuff. I think the Crown Royal is like just you. That and your Bass Pro just looks so good.
It's gonna be a surprise. It's gonna be a secret. Darlington's gonna be special. It's gonna be a one-off. So, it's gonna be a secret, John. Can't say much.
All righty, lights off on the top of the pace car. It's time to rock and roll Abraham Vila as they get ready to go green flag racing. Love the discussions. We'll continue to ask e-ticket trivia throughout the night. Keep up to date with it. Let's light the fuse in round 3 at Michigan. Oh, nearly 3-1, Jacob Wilkerson. And Schmidt's got Armstrong in line, 2 by 2. Huff on the bottom, Wilkerson right with him. Huff gets a move, Wilkerson right in the back end. Chevy versus Toyota for the race lead. You see what Mitchum's trying to do. You see what Armstrong's trying to do. Wilkerson loose near that yellow line. Vila watching on from 6th. Mitchum the leader, Huff in 2nd. Trouble spinning, there goes Riker Byram. Deep in the field, all on his own. And doesn't hit the inside wall, that car weight shifted, and he's back racing. Armstrong to blink, toe-to-toe with Trevor Huff. They're in that 54 machine. Mitchum versus William Schmidt. Battle for the race lead. Lap 4 to lap 5. And your closer, who's been so good at this racetrack in times past, takes the race lead. 31 laps to go from the Irish Hills. I know so many of you saw me wearing a suit at Daytona. I love the fact that in the live chat I can read it and you guys are talking about how it all looked. Here's the big thing. I'll tell you this for all you viewers watching back at home. I'll be uploading on my personal Instagram all the fun stuff that was from Daytona. So when that goes up, I think I'm going to upload it all on Friday before the Friday NR Night in America stream. I'll let you know what my personal Instagram is. You guys can go ahead and check it out. All the cool photos we took, all the fun moments that we had from that great trip. Wilkerson, Schmidt, Mitchum, Huff, Austin, Armstrong, Vila, and Herder. And lined up inside the top 8. You guys can see all the cool photos that Riker Byram took. What a guy Riker Byram. I want to point out that has got to be one of the greatest photographers I have ever met in my life. And I'm not even joking. And I know everyone knows about these drivers as like the iRacers, but everyone has something going on differently in their lives, just like you do as a viewer. For instance, I commentate NR Night in America, but in person, I commentate short track racing. I sometimes do PA for NASCAR races. There's a couple events that I could be doing this year for NASCAR in ARCA. And what that does is it kind of opens your mind, and when you start to learn some of these drivers a little bit more, it gets a little creative. Riker Byram, one of the nicest guys that you'll ever meet. We go out the first night. This was after New Smyrna. He's got that hat on, and he's as proper as ever. You can tell his mom raised him right. But he's taking these photos. I'm like, Riker, these photos are amazing. He took the photos of me. And I'm going to be honest, the suit looked great. But Riker's photos made everything look 1,000 times better. Hopefully, one day someone picks him up to go ahead and take photos of NASCAR stock car racing, because it is insane how good it truly is. Here's the battle for the lead again, 2 Toyotas. Wilkerson on the outside, Schmidt on the bottom, and William Schmidt just won't be able to get to that quarter panel. Trevor Huff sitting there P4. And it was great. Daytona was a lot of fun. We sang karaoke. You'll see it all Friday on the personal Instagram. It's going to be pretty cool. Mitchum P3, Huff P4, Armstrong P5. Austin in the 6th position, mostly just running single file with the Joseph Armstrong machine. This is one of the races where you can expect there to be long green flag runs. You don't expect too many cautions, kind of just like what we saw from Atlanta, but this is what you look forward to. Strategy. Who tore the tires up early, who didn't? Who's picking which lanes? Is the track changing? Are we going to worry about fuel? I don't think so. So if that's the case, who has the best car from where they qualified to where they started this race to see the checkered flag before anybody else? And our night in America, great graphics overlays, all by SKS Graphics. You guys can hit Schulte up in the Discord at Dre, D-R-E, in the blue carpet to get an offer on overlay and custom designs. We have great designs coming, a new updated look for the Indiana 500. We're getting the Fox overlays, and it's going to look fantastic. Schulte does a great job. I personally think the best designer in all of sim racing when it comes down to overlays. At Dre in the blue carpet from the Discord, and you can go back and forth via DMs. Off in 4th, Armstrong in 5th, Gavin Austin at 6th, Dean Brumman in 7th, Herder in 8th, Abraham Vila watching on from 9th. Schmitty outside, Mitchum inside. Not able to do it. And these Toyotas have really come to life. Off Chevrolet, Armstrong, Toyota, Gavin Austin, Chevrolet. Running up near the front of this field. Now it's 23 laps to go when they get to the stripe. Wilkerson, Mitchum, Schmidt, and Huff. Wilkerson does a great job just hugging that inside line. One spinning back straightaway, Dean Brumman. Just hits the inside rail. I want to say inside wall. That was a Jersey barrier. And we'll get it back refired. We stay green. Mitchum in 2nd. William Schmidt sitting there in 3rd. Hoffman, Armstrong, top 5. Can Mitchum get to the inside of Wilkerson? He can. Top 2, nose to tail. Mitchum underneath. Just barely slid that right rear. You can see Wilkerson doing a great job just trying to hold him off. Armstrong P5, Gavin Austin P6. Still no change between him and Abraham Vila. But with Michael Mitchum on the scene, you wonder what can change, if any. 20 laps remaining here from Michigan. Once again, 200 likes. We'll get round number 4. You, the viewers, get to vote on it. And we're so glad to have you all hanging out with us this Friday. We will be back with NR Night in America. If my voice does sound a little bit weird, I wouldn't say I'm under the weather. I don't feel like I'm under the weather. But I will say that my voice is very much gone. And I think this Friday I can explain why with a video where me and NR Night in America driver Nathan Dew went on the Vomitron. It's actually right next to the Slingshot. We got a video of it. I will say, viewers' discretion advised, because I said some words that were very, very not safe for the broadcast professional world, but we'll start bleeping some of the audio out for sure. No doubt about it, we'll have to bleep some of the audio out, but it's mainly because it was a genuine scared reaction out of myself, and I wasn't thinking, oh man, I hope this is not put all over social media. I was thinking to myself, I hope I do not lose a limb being on this ride. And it was insane. It's really entertaining. It's really funny to watch, and maybe I will show you all in full. Mitchum is there. Can he just make a move on Jacob Wilkerson? No, not off his safe, Mr. Eric. There's a lot of F-bombs in that video. And not because... And a lot of screaming, yes. I hit such a high pitch. I don't think I've ever hit a high pitch like that in years. So many F-bombs. It was not safe, not very professional. But I'll make sure I edit some of that stuff out. 17 laps to go, just a swipe to the back bumper. There, can he do it again? This end of the speedway a little tough. Trevor Hoff looking to see if he can go back to back. Joseph Armstrong watching on. Is that how I shape my hair too? No sir, it's not how I shape my hair. But the funniest quote of the weekend I will say is I forgot my comb at the hotel headed to New Smyrna, and I did put the sunroof open just to make sure my hair did flow up and it was all wet, and it somehow did work. But no, that is not how I do shape my hair. For the ones that don't know, my hair shape is exactly how it is. I just got my hair to memorize this way. I do put a very, very little product in there when it gets really long. But when I get a haircut for like a whole week, I don't have to put anything in there. I just got to comb the hair, do a couple things, and we're ready to go. No product, and I'm out the door. It's all about getting the hair to memorize. 2 Toyotas under a blanket, that hasn't changed, but oh boy, Joseph Armstrong, he's on the scene. Schmidt on the outside. Hoff dead ahead. 14 remaining. Now Huff's not able to get something done on that end of the speedway. Wilkerson's able to power off turn 4 and pull just enough of a lead. PBR 13 laps away from victory. What does Michael Mitchum do? Joe P4, Huff P3. And you can see Mitchum now trying anything he can, heaving and hauling. Washed way up the speedway. Now 2/10 back. Caution-free Michigan race. And it has really sized things us up. Ty Collymore already out of the race. Very deep in the field. Mitchum finally trying to energize a run. I think he's able to do it on this end of the speedway. Puts a low move down to 3 and 4. Wilkerson versus Mitchum. That's what we're watching in this late night hour of NR Night in America. Huff's in third. He's just over 8/10 back. Armstrong, he sits in fourth, over a second back. And you kind of just have to sit there and wait. You're watching what Mitchum's doing, and you're saying, okay, this end of the speedway looks great. The other end of the speedway looks like a problem. Now he's trying it again to the outside of the Wilkerson Toyota. He's on the apron and will lose time off turn 4. He's there. Wilkerson blocks once. Couldn't block him a second time. Car outside wall, lap machine. Out of the way, Wilkerson, just the edge off turn 2. The fight of the Supras. Coming to 8 laps to go. He got loose again on that outside. Trying it again. Trying anything and everything to work. Vila P6, William Schmidt P5. What to do with what you've got left. Mitchum not able to make it work. He's closing, he's trying. No, wants it on that end of the speedway. Six to go. That 43 is pulling away. You just see every single time he gets off that corner, Mitchell just gets a little more loose, starts losing a little more speed. And it's actually allowing Trevor Hump to close that gap. That's what's great about broadcasting. You know, you can just see it all unfold from different angles. Look at how much that 38 pushes wide compared to Wilkerson in 43. So smooth down off turn 4. Now it's a more conservative drive into turn 2. Clock is ticking. The battle of the Toyotas has Chevy and Toyota with another Toyota behind. No Ford to be seen at all inside the top 20. Look at the left side of the screen. Four Toyotas in this field for the top 20 with what's left of the 40-car field originally. And all 4 of them are up inside the top 5. Jacob Wilkerson with PBR. PBR has loved Michigan since the beginning. Every time they come here, they show success. And with 3 laps to go, they got a shot. Mitchum on the outside. Huff with a ride. And you can see Huff's got the speed. Longevity. Not able to work out there. Now looking and peeking for a move. Looks one way, then the other. Two to go. And this will do it. Salamanca. 1 to go at Michigan. The fight's for second. And Wilkerson just able to get away. We all watch on to see how this goes. Huff in third. Outside of Mitchum. Mitchum's able to shut the door. Oh, Huff got loose. The fight for P2 will carry all the way back to the start-finish line. Mitchum to cover. Huff's not going to get to him, nor will Joseph Armstrong, but PBR will go back to victory lane in 2025. Jacob Wilkerson, victorious from the Irish Hills. And that will do it for the stream. We will be back this Friday night. Not able to break it. Fun night of racing, fun night of excitement. I gotta nurse this voice back. But man, oh man, what a race we had underway. We were close to 200, not able to break it. But don't worry, this Friday, you know we're going to break it. We're going to break it, and this Friday, something tells me we're going to be going all night long. To the hardcore viewers that tuned in tonight, thank you all so much. It's okay, we didn't hit it, but we'll be back. I'm John Ramos, the voice of NR, watching Jacob Wilkerson burn it down here on the front straightaway. And our night in America, feeling victories all year long. So long from the Irish Hills. And I'll see you all once again this Friday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central for some more NR Night in America racing. It'll be Atlanta with the next gens. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Good